right, we're back with Gerard, Mr. Tish Thomas, and I am Drake Ken, and the show is The Bounce.
Yes, The Bounce. Let's get it.
Now, Gerard, you was out yesterday. You was at the middle school game.
Yep.
You was at some of the high school. At least you had some contact with some of the high school action.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about the middle school boys and girls teams from yesterday.
So, Lincoln battled Forest yesterday. Man, Lincoln tough, man.
Yeah, little
They
Pat the
got-
Rock.
Yeah, Pat and Mama at the guards, and they
Yeah.
big. I didn't know how big they was.
Oh yeah,
Like,
they got some
they
bigs
got
down
some
low.
size.
Okay.
They jumped out on Forest. It was 23-1. They jumped out on them. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about Forest, they didn't give up, man.
Didn't
They
panic.
didn't
Didn't
panic.
panic.
They didn't give up. They well coached over there, but Lincoln, it's some talent at the middle school level. So. In high school for the upcoming years, it's gonna be special. We got some talent.
Some good
in the
talent.
area. Yep.
Let's talk about some of the girls' action from the other day.
Yeah.
Her-
Oh man, I went to the Chatham and Gretna game, man. It was.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that's the high school though, right?
Yeah, high school.
I
Yeah.
remember
It
you telling me
was
about that,
a crazy game, man. Chatham pulled it out, but the one thing I liked was the environment, man.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
you
heard
know,
it was crazy down
It was
there.
crazy down
Heard
there,
it was
man.
crazy.
I'm telling you, man, and them counties, man, they passionate about sports, man.
No doubt. We know
Yes.
that all too well, no doubt. And they come to them games. They fill
Yes,
them stadiums.
they fill the stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fill the seats
Yeah.
up. But get back to the middle school girls. Liberty and LCA played too. The middle school.
Yeah.
Liberty Bedford. LCA pulled that out. So they undefeated. They got a big matchup with Dunbar coming up
Ooh, that's big.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
They both undefeated.
Yeah,
So
that girl from Dunbar, boy.
Yeah,
she
Tanaya Ford,
Tanaya
yeah,
Ford
she-
putting up numbers, man. She putting up big numbers, man. I've been looking at little pieces of stuff here, videos here. That girl put together, man. She can play ball.
she an eighth grader. She gon'
She got a nice variety. She got a nice variety with her game, man. I like what I saw from out of her, man. She looked good. But hey, let's talk about some of these high school matchups this week.
Yes.
Coming up, we have the LCA Bulldogs, boys and girls, playing Glass on Thursday.
That's gonna be
And
two
you know that's gonna be a good game right there, both of them, man. What do you expect to see out of Glass and LCA boys? Let's start off with the boys.
I think LCA took a tough loss to Amherst last
that.
night. Yeah, they were
Saw
up
that.
double digits in the first half. Amherst came back and won it.
Shout
so-
out to Amherst, they've
Yeah,
been balling
yeah.
down there. We talked about
Yeah,
Amherst.
Coach Teron, man, he
Yeah.
got them boys on the roll,
Told
man.
you they
He got-
would be.
yeah, he
I
got them
told
boys
you
on
they
the roll,
would be.
but-
Yeah.
but I think that left a bad taste in their mouth, so they're gonna try to respond. But Glass is tough, man.
Yeah. The Glass tough, man. They tough. They
yeah,
really tough.
We
man.
just interviewed Dre, and he probably one of the best guards in the state, in my
No
opinion.
question about it. I think he was
mean-
what? Ninth in scoring in the state or something like that, leading around here in scoring.
Yep.
So I mean, you know, yeah, and it's effortlessly. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
His game's so smooth. I mean, it ain't like he going all crazy and he
Yep.
controlled, even killed. Dagger, just silent killer, man.
And he got help too.
he
He
got
got
help.
Knox. He got
Yeah.
Aiden Tracy.
Yes, sir.
He got Dex.
Yes, sir.
Like I told you, the key is can Big Jerry come along?
Can Big Jerry come along?
and help? You know.
And you know what? That's just like, we'll talk about that once we get it. Big Jerry, you know, coming off football, you know, it's been
That's
a
tough,
couple
yeah.
of weeks. It take guards a long time to get back. Because football shape and basketball shape two different
yeah.
animals.
You're right.
So
You're
a
right.
guy that's 260, 270, 80 pounds, that's going to take him a little bit
Oh,
longer
yeah,
to get
definitely,
that. But when he do, when he
Definitely.
hit at the right time, that's the Mr. Peach Feast you blame.
Oh yeah, I like William Bretzel too.
Yeah, Bretzel,
yeah.
that's the one that can go inside out
Yep.
on you. Bretzel is.
Yeah, you
he's
brought him up
deceptive.
last time.
He's
Yep.
deceptive, man. You think Bretzel ain't about doing that because he just quiet over there chilling? He will annihilate you from that mid range.
Yes,
And he can
yes.
go and get rebounds.
Yes.
But you know, Etzel over at LCA, he's gonna come
Yeah.
to play. Him and his guys gonna come to play.
Yep.
You know, I saw
Yep.
where he had a good game the other night too, but you know, just fell up short. But
Yep.
you know, we'll see how that work out. Now, as far as the girls, we had Avery and Emmy in here. Emmy
Yeah.
Stout in here. So, you know, Glass.
Glass
you know,
got their hands full, man.
They do.
I seen LCA play twice.
Yeah.
You know, they played JF and Liberty,
Yeah.
and they did a good job with them.
No doubt.
That's a dynamic duo over there,
Yeah.
inside out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Stout, she protects the paint, man.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, you could tell like she just got here, and them girls, you would think that they've been together all their life, playing ball all their life. They look like they enjoy each other, they like each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Big smiles on their face. They're having a great time, but at the same time, we know the assassin that Avery Mills is, and I've yet to see Stout play, but I will definitely be in the building and attendance on Thursday to see what it's all about.
But
so,
I know Ced Jones gonna have his team ready.
Yeah, I know.
Coach Jones gonna have his team ready.
He's definitely gonna have them ready, and we still, you know, the little General J.O.C. out there, Gerard Osborne, she's still in the mud. I mean, you got, like I said, you got Glass got some pieces. They got a nucleus. I guess they finding an identity as well.
Yes.
You know, they finding their identity, and I don't care. I mean, I don't care if Glass goes 10-10. If they get in there in one of them playoff games,
they're gonna be dangerous.
With that playoff pedigree that they have, I think that they will make some noise, and you don't want to see them the first couple of rounds. So, you know, that's gonna be a good game. I think LCA boys are at Glass, and the LCA girls play home against Glass. So that'll be a good game Thursday for you guys to go check out if you want.
Definitely.
Now, let's get into this. The Bounce Power 5 poll. And we're gonna break it down. We're gonna go, let's start off with the women first, with the girls. At number 5, we got the 7-4 EC Glass Hilltoppers coming in. We spoke briefly about them. The 10-2 Chatham Cavaliers.
Yes.
You know, Coach, what's her name?
Coach Lauren French.
French. Yep, Coach French down there. You know, I watched her coaching against Glass, man. She got a unique style. You know, I like her because she edgy. I like her because she edgy, and like I said, she got a lot of athlete girls out there.
She do.
Them girls move around. You know, you can tell when you got an athlete on your team. And if they just put it all together, then Chatham gonna be, they looking like the ones to beat the Dogwood.
I think so.
No doubt. So we agree with that. Oh, let's move it on to number 3. The 9-3 Jefferson Forest Cavaliers. Only 2 losses. I mean, they got 3 losses. They lost to
not bad.
Lost to LCA and they lost to Lower Botetourt twice.
Two good teams.
Two good teams. You know, Lower Botetourt, they're traditionally good teams. LCA, we see what they do. So, you know, for JF to come out and run off some good wins against Glass, you know, they, you know, led by Kennedy Hancock and Mariah Tate. Hey, I mean, they gonna be in the hunt. You know, this ain't like we talked about it. Like you got 4 teams at the top, in my opinion. 4 teams at the top in the Seminole that could take it on. They can take it there.
That could take it. You know,
they can take it on any given night.
And they got a big matchup against Liberty too, JF.
We're gonna talk about. Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, there you go. I missed it. Sorry about that. Liberty and JF play Thursday. Play Thursday night. So that's gonna be definitely a good one. And JF, the number 3 team. Like I said, they're hitting on all cylinders. Tate and Hancock in mid-season form. They're doing what they do. One thing I will say, they have an identity. They know who they are.
They do.
They know who they are.
They do.
And they playing some good basketball. So let's move on up to number 2, the Liberty Bedford Minutemen.
Lady Minutemen.
Led by St. John.
Oh, and look, even though they lost to LCA, she had an excellent game. Excellent. Excellent.
And that's their only loss. They only lost to LCA. I mean,
not bad. I mean,
St. John and Shania Brown, and Hershey got a sister too. Hershey got an older sister.
Tanisha Brown.
Tanisha Brown. So I mean, you know,
they got some size. They got some size down there.
And you know what? Liberty basketball, the ladies basketball. I don't know what they always seem to have somebody to come out of nowhere and just be phenomenal. And we're seeing it again. Like you said, they had a 3-4 head monster up there. So, you know, talk to us a little bit about them.
They got, like I said, Bree Adams is another guard. She a lefty. Ayana's another guard. They just thin though. I think they got like 8 players. So they can't get in foul trouble and they can't have no injuries. But they're gonna be dang. I think they'll make a deep playoff run. I think.
Now, one thing about that is that you get a lot of folks getting a lot of experience.
That's true.
But one thing that can hurt, you know, a deep bench in the playoffs is what you need. You need those folks, you know.
That's true.
Now, but will that hurt them, or will it be that those players that have to play so much now, will that help them in the end? That's the big question.
That's a good question.
That's the big question.
That's a good question.
Because typically, when you don't have a bench that you can go to, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know, because all you got to do is get people in foul trouble, and then you getting pieces in that normally don't play, that might not be ready for the moment. The lights might be too big. But you got these girls that's playing, probably playing AD. They probably have to play AD, so that can't do nothing but possibly help them in the end.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think come playoff time, they'll be experienced because they're getting that play time. So you're right, You dead on with that one.
And the number one team in the bounce, Drake and Talk, TIS Power 5 poll is the 7-4 LCA Bulldogs. Hey, now, we sit there and we see these 4 losses on their record, and they're like, how are they number one? They ain't lost to nobody around here. They lost in tournaments, holiday tournaments to powerhouses, you know, around the areas, and, you know, so it's not like they've been losing to mediocre teams, and they've lost to powerhouse teams. But at the same time, they have maintained who they are around our parts to hold on to this number one position.
And I think that's helping them too. Playing teams like Stab and stuff, it helps you. You know what I'm saying? Playing teams like that.
They've been playing a lot of teams with a lot of initials, man. I was looking at it, was WFCFPQ. I'm like, yeah, who are these people? But looking them up, they are respectable programs that traditionally have great teams. So, I mean, it's no slight for them to lose because those games were early.
Yeah, that's true.
Those, like I said, I think we talked about earlier, 3 or 4 games they lost early. They was to these teams. Then they've run off, they've been dominant ever since. So.
And you know, that's my preseason Seminole pick.
That's your
Remember?
Preseason. Yes, we said that's the favorites. You know, but the picture is getting a little clearer now. You know what I mean? You got, like I said, LCA, Liberty, JF, Chatham, and Glass. We talked about Chatham, Glass, JF, and LCA as the like any one of those teams could do it at any moment. But
but I ain't mean to cut you off. I think this gonna be a test for Glass because if LCA win, that means they beat all 3 contenders.
Separates the cream of the crop.
So Glass I feel like this is a must-win for Glass.
Must win for Glass. You gotta win this game.
They gotta win it.
Because it's gonna do a lot for Glass's psyche going into it as well. You know, they've lost like 4 games. Sid Jones and those girls, they ain't seen 4 losses in 2 years.
In a while,
It's kind of like, you know, but we'll see how they respond. I know them Glass girls, and Coach said I had them girls together.
Definitely.
You know, so we'll see what happens with that. So we have our poll. We got LCA girls at 1, Liberty Bedford at 2, JF 3, Chatham 4, and Glass rounds out the Power 5 at number 5. Moving on over to the boys' side. Now, this is where it gets tricky because you got a couple of teams you got a team that's beat one team, that's lost to another team, that lost to that team, that beat that team that you beat. So it's crazy.
It's all over.
And we talked about the numbers game. We talked about how the numbers were going to be. But rounding it out, man, I mean, at number 5, we got the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers, coached by Jeff Monroe. He got those guys out to a 9-3 start. They only lost to Glass, Alta Vista, and Cave Springs.
Not bad.
We talked about the length on the wings. We talked about the big guy in the middle. We talked about the guys that can stroke it. What do you see with JF now that we've actually been able to come out of the break, out of the Christmas break, and them to get back on the court?
Like I told you, that's my sleeper team in the Seminole.
Okay.
They just I think they gotta find the right rotation. I think they got a lot of guys that they can play. So I think going into playoff time, they got to find a good rotation of players. But they gonna be scary.
That's a good problem to have. Well, that's another problem to have than not knowing not what's going on. So you know.
That's true.
And at number 4, we have the 7-2 Rustburg Red Devils. Only teams they lost to was Glass and JF.
Not bad.
I mean, you know, you talked about those guys down there. You talked about the Mamba. You talked about those guys, and they living up to what you said. So, you know, those guys, I think they're going to be in the hunt. You know, for the Seminole. You know, again, we talk about Glass and how powerful and dominant, but they get another shot at them. So we'll see where that works.
It's, like I said, man, it's tough going in the Glass. That pressure, man, like, people can prepare for the pressure, but it's a different animal when you actually in the pressure. I think you can't practice for that.
You really can't. You
can't really.
And people simulate it with, you know, pressure, and you know, some teams teams were back and when we played, it used to be so loud in there. Teams used to practice in gyms with big speakers and stuff because they know when they came to that zoo, it was gonna be hot, it was gonna be loud, and the fans was gonna be crazy. So I get what you're saying about that, and they've brought that back. You know, they've brought all of that back. You know, even when Jeter was there. I mean, the crowd's been electric.
Oh, yeah,
glass,
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Especially these big games, they're always going to be electric, and it's hard to play again in those environments. But moving on, number 3, and this is a team that surprised me a little bit. The 10-2. I'm surprised because who they beat, not because of how good they are. Put it that way.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because we talked about Teron Watson and Shante down there coaching.
Jefferson,
We told them they was going to be tough. We knew. But hey, man, these guys have beat some really good guys, and they only lost to Jefferson Forest and Glass, which is your number 5 team, and I'm sure everyone knows Glass is number 1 in our poll. Yeah. But, you know, they lost to the number 5 and the number 1 team.
Yep. I mean, you know, the senior leadership, though. They got a lot of seniors. Justin Burns over there, A.J. Jordan, Martez Andrews. You know, and them guys been playing together for a while. Yeah. You know, they play AAU together year-round with the Mixers.
Okay.
So I'm not really surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised. The thing is, can they get over the hump? Can they compete with Glass?
Yeah. That's
can they compete with Glass and JF?
And that's what it's looking like. You know, it's looking like all roads lead to Glass. But you know, we're not gonna put the cart in front of the horse. But at the same time, like I used to tell Coach Woody, we might not put the cart before the horse, but I ain't going against Glass. So you can say what you want to say. So if it's a game coming up, Glass will win. That's how I look at it. That's just because of who I am. But at the end of the day, you know, anybody can be beat.
That's true.
Anybody can be beat.
That's true.
I mean, injuries take effect. I mean, pray to God that none of these kids will go out with no injuries or anything, but this is just a reality of the games they play.
That's true.
Injuries, you know, you never know what might happen. You know, matchup differences. I mean, you know, again, like you said, trying to actually find a rotation that can beat you. You know, it just all boils down to several different things that turn that that guarantee into a non-so guarantee. You know what I'm saying? So that's
true.
So that's one thing we're gonna have to keep our eyes out for. Now at number 2, this may be a surprise to some of y'all, but Stan Hunt and those guys down at Alta Vista.
Yeah, Stuart Hunt.
Stuart Hunt, I'm sorry.
Stuart.
Shout out to Stan Hunt. That was one of my old teammates back in the day. My fault. But Stuart Hunt, Alta Vista, moving along. 2 games. They lost 2 games to Rustburg, which is our number 4 team. Everybody else, they beat JF. You know what I'm saying?
That was a big one. At JF.
They beat JF at JF. So they got some really great wins under their belt, man. So they just beating up on, I ain't gonna say no team, but you know, they beating up on they beating some great teams, and they lost 2 games to the same team that's actually an excellent team that only lost 2 games to a team that they beat. You know, and then, you know, so.
I mean, we know about Stuart Hunt, but he got help.
Yeah, you keep telling me about that help.
Yeah, he got Jaden Boyd, he got Anthony Clay, Ryan Hunt, so he got some help. I think they're gonna make a deep run this year in the playoffs.
And they are in the Dogwood, right?
They're in the Dogwood.
So they got a good chance to go ahead and take that Dogwood and, you know, bring back that old Alta Vista with the Michi, the Malbacks, and Warren Thornhill, and I mean, you know, them guys, you can go take it all the way back to Troy Hood and
Kenny Hunt.
Definitely Kenny Hunt. Shout out to Kenny Hunt.
Yeah.
And I can't think of that boy from down there. He was a monster. I'll think of it before, but you talking about a monster, that boy was a monster, man. But you know, Alta Vista, they no strangers to winning championships. You know, that's what they do. They're known for that. So, shout out to Alta Vista, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Glad we don't really got to see y'all, so we keep it moving. But for your number 1 team in the Power 5 poll,
it's no surprise.
There's no surprise. We know what it is. EC Glass, 10-2. They lost a tough one early to Spotswood, and they lost Saturday to Northside. But as you heard Dre talk, you know, they know what they did wrong. You know, and I tell, you know, I tell all the kids that I train and people, I'm like, as long as you know what you did wrong, we can fix it. You know what I'm saying? And knowing Coach DJ, he's gonna have them, DJ and his staff, he's gonna have them guys prepared. They won't have that slip again, you know? You know, I went up there to that practice today, he was running in the depth, running back and forth.
I love it.
It wasn't a punishment, it was a conditioning. You know, there's a condition, because he know what he has. He know the type of run that they can make. And again, you know, Big Jerry, he gonna whip back into basketball shape. And it's gonna be those pieces that they need. But man, you know, let's talk about the emergence of Knox, Aiden, you know, those guys. Dexter Harris. I mean, you know, because Dexter was in the doghouse for a minute. Dexter was in there. He wasn't Coach, and one thing I love about Coach DJ, even though Dexter wasn't playing to his capability early, Coach DJ, to his credit, stayed with him. And man, Dexter Harris shot the lights out last week. He's always been that lockdown defender, man. And if you get the starting 5 going is enough.
Yeah.
But if you get 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 players, then some teams got some problems.
Yeah, Dex, he had a big game against Russellburg. He had a breakout game. So he came out the bench, gave him energy on defense, made some 3-pointers. So I like his game, man.
Yeah, I like Dex too, man. Dex one of those kids who came in and put in the extra work. Summer got stronger, got more explosive, man, and like he's gonna be a big part of them when I'm going down the stretch.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, hey, this has been this week's episode of The Bounce with my guy, Gerard, Mr. Tiss Thomas. And by the way, shout out to Mr. Tiss Thomas, Gerard Tiss Thomas is opening up Tiss Academy. Him and his wife, man. Support that. The guy's been working hard, man. And you know, we watched Jerry growing up, coming up, and he here now. Let's support the young man. He's doing what he's supposed to do, putting it out there for him, man. And we love him here at the Drake and Talk Show because, hey, he brings another positive aspect and perspective to our basketball, not just high school, but, you know, he's down to middle schoolers. He's down on Saturdays, you know, if it's basketball here around it, he's a big addition to us, and we appreciate him. But, yeah, let's support and congratulate my man with the Tiss Academy, praying for nothing but great things for you. But, hey, this has been The Bounce.
Before we go, we got to shout out Dre, man. You work hard too, man. You know, Drake and Talk. Man, make sure y'all go follow, man. Follow his page.
Yeah, definitely follow. You know, I'm glad you said that, you know.
Yes.
Man, got to shout out my guy, Greg Ferguson, my guy, Chris James.
Oh, they work hard. They work hard.
They keep me in order. But my thing is this. I want to tell y'all people, I'm going to look at the camera. Check this out. There's no reason why we should have 1,000 views or reach 50,000 people and only have 30 likes. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Don't like that. Don't just follow the page. Like the page. Like the content. We ain't asking you for nothing. We just asking you to enjoy what we put up. And then on the flip side, if you don't enjoy it, you just being nosy, hey, okay, we get it. But at the end of the day, there's no reason why we should have all these views and we should have all these people that we've reached and only be a few likes on it.
And it's for the kids, man. It's a positive impact, man. We shouting out the kids.
We've been there, we done that. We ain't got no more eligibility. It is what it is. But man, again, this has been The Bounce, brought to you by Colin White and these good folks over at Scoreboards, Wild Boyd, and those good people over at Boyd's Janitorial, the Crawfords, Kenny and Gabriel, G&G Arcade, my man Greg, 30,000 games on one console. Holla at him, get at him. And my guy, Chris Jameson, Gravity Solutions. He's making the magic, him and Greg together. They're stepping this thing up. And for Mr. Thomas, Mr. Tiss.
Yes, sir.
This has been The Bounce. We out. Like, share, subscribe. Drake and Talk, out.